You just mentioned President Bush sitting at the head of the table. You were there, and there are many people who, as they think about what the United States ended up in, think that Iraq was, and I've heard this from people in uniform, who said, wrong war, wrong time. Let's finish what we've got on our hands in Afghanistan. Let's get al-Qaeda and get bin Laden. And that Iraq was a sort of mission-driven kind of thing by the president and some of his top advisors. Did you feel that as you were sitting around that table?
Perhaps a little bit. I mean, there was, although I'll take you back to the first Camp David right after 9/11, where somebody brought up Iraq. We're talking about Afghanistan, options for Afghanistan at Camp David. And I was still the vice chairman. General Shelton was the chairman. We were sitting at the table together. Somebody brought up operations in Iraq. At the break, one of the breaks, the president goes up to Hugh Shelton, the chairman, and says, "What am I missing here? I thought we were talking Afghanistan. Why did somebody bring up Iraq?" So I don't think it was preeminent in the president's mind, certainly early on, that, oh, this gives me a good chance to go into Iraq. My rationale was the nexus of weapons of mass destruction and violent extremism is a very dangerous nexus.
And you believe Saddam had those weapons of mass destruction?
They had, yeah, the whole world. In fact, I was probably the last guy to believe they had them. I mean, toward the end. I mean, after they dug up everything, I was still, you know, when we find them, that was probably a mistake on my part. Because I'd seen the same evidence that Secretary Powell took to the UN. It was reasonably compelling. What we didn't know, and I mentioned in the book, curveball, name of the source in Germany, threw us a real curveball. He, you know, and we hadn't vetted that source, the intelligence community hadn't vetted that source in an appropriate way. So it taught us a lot, and I think it's changed a lot of the way that we do our intelligence today, for the better. I mean, that was...
Biggest mistake around this then was an intelligence mistake?
Well, that was certainly one of them. Yeah, I think that was... if you hadn't had the WMD connection, in my mind, you wouldn't have the rationale to go in there.